if I want to summarize my journey, I was not very clear that what I really want to do. One internship, which was an intern plus full-time offer, technology company, but my role was a little slightly operational role. Tailored my resume, I put my internship in such a way that I have used such technologies which is required for a business analyst or maybe a data analyst. So there are two kinds of skills, I would say. One is technical skills or maybe hard skills which are required to get into any role. So in the online assessment, there were two sections. One is mostly about Excel. So I got calls from McKinsey, from this Adobe, from few other good companies. But finally, what happened is that Adobe's offers came first, and it was a good, decent offer.
A lot of aspiring data professionals have asked this question to me, that how we can crack the top tech companies like Amazon, Adobe for the business analyst role. How we can get the interview calls from them. And they also had one more important doubt: what is the concrete difference between the data analyst and a business analyst? So don't worry, you will get all your answers in this podcast, because our guest speaker has the similar story, and also he's coming from a non-CS background. So in this podcast, he will answer what all things you need to prepare in 2025 to become a business analyst, how you can get the calls from these top tier 1 companies, how to prepare the resume of a business analyst, how to approach the organization, what kind of portfolio you need to build, how to deal with the case study driven interview rounds, and many more important insightful things. So watch it till the very end, like it in the big numbers, share it with your fellow aspiring data professional friends, and if you are new to the channel, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon for such insightful podcasts. And before we dive in, a quick shout out to Astronomer for sponsoring this video. They have just partnered with Manning to release the practical guide for Apache Airflow 3.0. And if you are into building the data pipelines, then trust me, you do not want to miss this one. But what is exactly new in Airflow 3.0? First is DAG versioning. Means now you can keep a track of the DAG changes you have made so far. A much more cleaner, faster and intuitive UI. Asset-based declarative DAGs. Better local dev setup, smooth upgrade path from Airflow 2.x without breaking anything, and many more cool features. And yes, this guide is packed with many real-world code examples to help you to upgrade your existing DAGs without breaking a sweat. This 100+ page guide is free, comprehensive, and huge time saver for anyone who is working with the Airflow. So what are you waiting for? I have given the link in the description, so check it out now. Alright, so thank you so much, Rituraj, for joining me in this podcast. Really excited to have a discussion about your journey in the business analytics domain. But before that, it would be really good if you can give a short introduction of yourself, your past background, from where you studied, currently where you're working.
Sure, Sarang. First of all, thank you for allowing me to share my experience here. I've been seeing your channel from last 2-3 years, from the Amazon days. So I'll talk about my journey. I graduated in 2020 with electrical and electronics engineering. Post that, I joined Amazon as a business analyst. I worked there for almost 3.5 years in three different teams. So major portion of my tenure there was a business analyst, because I joined as a business analyst, worked there as business analyst. Post that, I switched the role and became a BIE, which is business intelligence engineer, which is I would say more technical, slightly more technical, good role, better role. And then recently I joined Adobe as a business analyst too. It's been 2 months here, so very shorter duration. Apart from that, I also on weekends from last 2 years I've been teaching and mentoring students on different platforms. So that is what I do on weekends. So this is what I've done till now in last 3-4 years.
Cool. So definitely I will be having lots of questions for you related to your journey, but let's start from point zero. Your college days, I mean, what was your stream, and that time what were your actual plans? I mean, what were your aspirations, what you were planning for your future, and how did you get your first internship or opportunity if you landed after completing your graduation?
So if I start from point zero, so I was preparing for JE, as we all did. Not couldn't get into any prestigious college, so I get into a college which is called ABS Engineering College, which is a tier 3 college in electrical and electronics domain. At that point of time, I was very stubborn, or maybe I don't know what was it. I was very clear that I don't want to join into computer science or any that kind of degree. Maybe the IT, information technology, or maybe computer science. So I take electrical and electronics branch. within the tenure of my engineering, I decided I tried multiple things. I tried writing Gate, prepared for Gate for 3 months, and then decided like this is not my thing. So if I want to summarize my journey, I was not very clear that what I really want to do. And then placement hit, then the time came where this company start coming. So whatever the companies which were allowing me to sit in the interview, so I start sitting there. Got one internship, which was an intern plus full-time offer, along with others. So I joined there, which is a more of an operational role. It's a technology company, but my role was a little slightly operational role. So I interned there for 4 months. Post that, and then completed there, and then I also kept giving interviews for other companies and other options.
Okay. So that time, like even in the operations role, how much salary they were like giving you since you came from that college?
Sure. So it was simple. In when I joined as an intern, so within internship it was 30K a month. But they also gave me an offer which is after completion of internship, it would be somewhere around 6 lakhs per annum kind of.
During your college time, I mean, I have seen people, even they are coming from 𝗃𝗃𝗃 sort of branches, still they are interested a lot towards the CS domain. They do coding on their own, learn programming languages. So you had like no plans, you did not even explore anything related to, let's say,
till the time I get my degree, I did not had any plan to do anything with the computer related roles, maybe development or anything. So after I would say till that time I appeared to the exam for final year, no plan for going to a tech role or anything.
No clear vision.
No clear vision. Yeah.
Got very curious to know your journey in the like data and analytics role. As you mentioned, you got your first internship in the operations role. So I'm interested to know after that, like how did you move into the business analyst role? How did you decide? How did you get that clear vision to decide business analytics as your career path?
So so I've been fortunate because I got time within that time. So when I graduated, COVID happened. So I get ample amount of time to figure out that what exactly I want to do. So at that particular time, the hiring was on peak. People were hiring, getting good salaries. Like there was a lot of salary hikes in terms of development roles, of front end roles, back end roles, or maybe data roles, or also emerging at that point of time. So I have decided let's figure out like what exactly I want to do. So I've done some development also learned SQL and Python parallelly. So I start giving interviews for every domain because I till the time I started giving interviews, proper interviews, I was equipped with Java. The backend, what they use, Spring Boot. I was also there. I learned as well, and then for front end, I was very aware about, and I was doing front end development with JavaScript as well. But the parallelly, when I got the offer with Amazon as a business analyst, till the time they grilled me on SQL and stuff. So I also till the time I was also learned SQL and Python as well. But the offer was as such from Amazon that it is a business analyst role. So I thought let's give it a try because Amazon is such a good company to start with. In parallel also I have few more offers which were more like generic roles, like software engineer roles, that kind of role, but I choose that one. So because it was Amazon, I thought it will be a good exposure for me to start with. So I started with it.
Yeah, I mean, you were in the operations role. I mean, so how did you get to learn these many things, programming, Java, Spring Boot? Because I believe these were the things which were not part of your day-to-day
obviously
job activity. So like you got some idea somehow that what you actually need to follow to get into business analyst, or it was just from here and there?
Within internship that I have decided that this is not something I want to do. Even if I want to do any I would say a job which is like work from home setup, or maybe any kind of job which is not a public service or kind of job. So I would rather do a job which will pay me higher salaries, which have a better learning curve or things like that. Because in operational roles, you are doing more or less same thing on daily basis, right? So that is where I decided that I have to learn some technologies to get into the field, and then eventually I will keep growing, keep learning, and then things will happen. So my first at that point of time, my first worry was to get into the field so that I am not lagging behind within the time which is passing by.
Despite coming from a tier 3 type of colleges, how did you get these opportunities? Because a lot of people like face a lot of challenges even to get a call from such big tech companies. So how did it happen for you?
So I would give the credit for two things. First one is that I tailored my resume. I put my internship in such a way that I have used such technologies which is required for a business analyst or maybe a data analyst. First thing that, and the second thing is I also use referrals for other people who are working with tech giants like Amazon or maybe wherever I want to apply. If I see I know somebody from there, I try to get a referral. And the third point, I would say that at that point of time, I've been lucky because that point of time hiring was really on peak. So maybe those three factors could be the reason.
Amazon, like, did you apply on your own or you got some sort of referral?
I got a referral. For Amazon particularly, I got a referral.
Okay.
From a friend.
And,
yeah.
Okay. And like you were using LinkedIn to reach out people for referrals, or just the
so
network?
I would say so I'll tell you my exact strategy. What I have done is, so wherever I get I am able to manage a referral, I put a referral. Wherever I manage to get maybe mail ID, so I put my mail and writing cold email. I tried cold emailing. I tried applying on those Naukri and even companies portals as well. So I tried everything which is required. So you need to do what needs to be done. So that was my approach. It was not sitting there and waiting for referral or maybe any particular thing. So I have tried here and there everything. So whatever is their option, whatever the option is, I tried everything.
All right. I think now this is going to be a very important and critical question of this entire podcast, and I want a very detailed answer from you.
Sure.
Since you have been into this role for a couple of years, you have seen the growth, the changes, how things are evolving. So can you share a detailed and step-by-step roadmap to become a business analyst in 2025? Like from here to here, what all skills someone needs to touch upon? If you can emphasize and pinpoint all of those things.
Sure. So I would cover this answer in two parts. So there are two kinds of skills. So I would say one is technical skills or maybe hard skills which are required to get into any role, and the second one is which are non-technical skills which are required to get job done for the particular role, for the particular job, right? So if I start with technical skills, I would say Excel and SQL are still the bread and butter for any analytics or maybe analyst kind of role, because you are most of the time you are fetching data, you are making reports maybe on Excel, maybe dashboarding. So previously till the time that Power BI or maybe Tableau was not introduced, leaders are still very used to of Excel. Once you are completed with Excel and SQL, you can start using or maybe trying to get a dashboard with Power BI or maybe Tableau, whichever you feel comfortable with. Post then you can start with Python. Python is also, because आप आज की डेट में Python से नहीं बच सकते. कोई कितने ही बोले, Excel and SQL is starting point, but Python is also, which is very essential in today's data field, right? आप किसी भी data role में हो, Python is very much required. Pandas library, which is very important for at least data handling, right? Right. Second part, if I talk about non-tech skills, which are like, so first thing is to ability to convey your thoughts, right? So if you are in any role, so especially with business analytics roles, what happens is you are most of the time you are dealing with the stakeholders, and you have to manage your thoughts and propagate your thoughts in a way it should be clear and crisp, right? Mm-hmm. And the second part is for the interview perspective, you have to be thorough with guess estimations, and the other part is where they talk about case studies. So those, if you are very much aware about all those things, you can start giving interviews. And one thing I would also add on here is if somebody is working in a non-tech field, so they should not be considering themselves as a fresher. They should at least try to, tailor their resume in such a manner where they can show their showcase that they have used Excel or maybe some dashboarding tool in their past whatever work experience they had.
So one more important question, and maybe as a follow-up question, during this entire learning process or during the process of acquiring these skills, are there any certification which can be also helpful? If you have done any certification, any point of time and you want to suggest the same?
If I talk about me personally, I haven't done any certification. I have learned everything on, maybe I took some classes from somebody because I wanted a fluent, a proper roadmap or maybe a proper setup where I am going every day in a particular sitting and practicing certain things. But I haven't done any certification. But I would highly recommend nowadays, because if you want to if you want to learn something, having a proper roadmap or maybe proper curriculum is always helps. Time bound manner में preparation के लिए बड़ा helpful होता है.
Again, a very important question for those who might think that cracking big tech giants is difficult because their interview process can be really difficult. Since you have interviewed at Amazon, you cracked it. So can you also talk about the detailed interview experience of it, like how many rounds will be there at Amazon for the business analyst role, and in each round what kind of things they will be asking in general?
So I'll talk about my interview experience. That was the fun first when I entered in Amazon. So I'll talk about that one. So I got a mail with a online assessment. So in the online assessment, there were two sections. One is mostly about Excel and your general ability to deal with things like general questions, right? How will you react in particular situation? The second part was mostly SQL. So SQL queries and SQL MCQs. So that was my OA, online assessment. Once I completed it, there were 4 rounds of interviews. 2 were technical, purely technical, where they grilled you about Excel, they will grill you about on SQL, they will ask SQL theory questions, they will ask you about internship ki aapne kya kara, which are the metrics that you are following, or agar dashboarding kariye to what have you done in dashboarding as well. So 2 rounds were like that, and the next 2 rounds were morely about your leadership principles. So they want you they ask you managerial questions. What happened if somebody is not on the same page on a particular point, what will you do? So what will you do? So in Amazon, as you also know, that leadership principles are very make and break kind of thing. So they also ask questions regarding that, and the complete process happened in 15-20 days. So that was my experience. So it is, if I want to summarize it, SQL, Excel in hard skills, and your past experience, what have you done, and if somebody who is going to appear for any role in Amazon, at least see what are their leadership principles are. So that is a make and break thing for them.
Okay. Yeah. And level of SQL will be like
medium to hard.
Medium to hard. Okay.
For that,
okay.
At least that is what I felt at that time. Medium to hard.
All right. Also, other important question is, a lot of time people get confused between these 2 roles, business analyst and data analyst. Since you have worked for a couple of years, as per you, what sort of difference do you see between these 2 roles, and how can people decide that, okay, I should prefer business analyst role and I should prefer data analyst role?
So if I want to differentiate between 2 roles, somebody who is a data analyst, see, in some companies there is no difference at all. If you can also see that there is no difference. But if we talk about what it should be like, so data analyst is a more technical role where you are dealing with data, where you are dealing with dashboard, where you are dealing with your owning dashboard. If some error happens, you are dealing with pipelines as well, right? But for business analyst, 60-70% bandwidth, your bandwidth goes to in technical part, and this 30-40% bandwidth, your bandwidth goes to dealing with stakeholders, dealing with taking requirements. If somebody wants any change in a particular pipeline, or maybe in a dashboard, or maybe they want some change in some metric. So that is what 70-30, I would say the ratio is. 30% you are doing meetings and taking requirements for the metrics changes, taking requirement for the changes, and 70% you are doing your hand dirty and dealing with data. So that is the only difference, but I would say they are more or less same roles.
Yeah. At many companies, I have
Yeah.
also seen like
Yeah.
doing these things and like common responsibilities, no separate role even.
But I would also want to add here is that if you are a business analyst, your scope of career paths is huge, because now you can go to a data field as well, but a product management side as well.
Yeah.
So that is one advantage that I have seen with BA role.
So, what is your plan moving forward after 2-3 years? Do you want to be in this particular role or want to move into the product
So
management side?
what I would say is that planning never worked for me, so I would keep it simple. Wherever it goes, and
Whatever opportunity will
whatever
come, that
opportunity
time
will
you
come,
will
and then
decide.
I'll follow through.
Another thing, like I have got these questions. So people will be able to practice SQL, Excel, right? They will be able to do it. But in order to crack the interviews, I also feel that case studies part, guess estimates plays a very important role,
Very
because there will be
important.
dedicated interview round for it.
Mhm.
So people find it difficult that from where I can practice these questions, because they find it difficult to get the set of case studies they need to prepare, set of guess estimate questions they need to prepare. So do you have any recommendation which has helped you a lot to prepare these kind of questions for interviews?
So back then, when I started preparing for guest round, it was there is no much information about it, but there were interview. There is a book which is called Case in Point, which is a very generic book people follow for that. But nowadays there are so many YouTube channels that have breakdown of case studies, case rounds, and guess estimation rounds. So whatever worked for me is that if you have a thorough understanding that how can you break any problem in different pieces, you can crack any guess round or any case round, because you cannot practice hundred of rounds. There could be anything they can ask. They can ask that how many flights are going to take off from that particular city on a particular day. How will you prepare that, right? So
Right.
you have to understand that you have to know the framework, that how can you break down the problem statement, how can you ask the right question in a case round or maybe a guest estimation round, and then you can just be prepared and be present in the moment, and then break down the problem. You can learn the framework, but cannot learn the every question or maybe every problem that could be asked.
Right, right.
So
So,
having the right framework for those rounds will be the key.
in general, what will be the expectation of the interviewer for these particular rounds? That if I'm asking a case study type of question, then in the candidate should talk about these points for sure, or they are
Sure.
expecting 100% exact answer. How does it actually go in the
So,
interview?
so what I'll tell you is that there is no such 100% accurate answer for a case round or for a guess estimation. First, if somebody gives you a guess estimation problem statement, first start trying to ask right questions. Somebody, let's just the example I just gave you, right? How many flight is going to fly from that particular airport on a particular day? So you will start from there. Like you will start the question: which city is it? Like if you want to give it a name, what is the time for you want to, or what is the month that you want to estimate? Is it a time for where it's a travel destination, or it's a generic city? So try to ask as many questions around that problem statement as you can, and then you can break down that problem. Okay, so maybe it's a December, or you are talking about a place called where is the most touristy place in December, right? If we talk about in India, December, we can Jaipur is a place where people usually travel in December because it's relatively cooler, right? So you will try to understand what is the size of airport. So there are so many approaches to uh, approach the problem statement. There are so many approaches. So you can just approach and then ask the right question, and then start breaking it down, and then try to get a final number. And then there is no such right answer, but they just want your approach of solving a particular problem, if it comes to the way.
Now, Rituraj, talking about your current company recently, like you moved into the Adobe for the business analyst 2 role. So maybe similar type of question. How did you get this interview opportunity? And just like Amazon, if you can give some detailing about the interview process at Adobe for the business analyst role, and
Sure.
how things goes here in terms of the number of rounds and things will be asked.
Sure. It's been almost 3.5 years with Amazon with different team maybe, but so I want to try some other company, or maybe I want to switch to other place where I can explore different technologies, because Amazon has this atmosphere AWS environment throughout, right? All the cloud services they have, it's around the AWS services. So I want to experience Azure as well. That how is it with Azure? So that is one of the reason. So I start applying with different companies or with the referrals, because till the time I complete 3 years, I have a solid network on LinkedIn as well. So I was asking referrals for people like for Google, for Microsoft. So I got calls from McKinsey, from this Adobe, from few other good companies. But finally, what happened is that Adobe's offers came first, and it was a decent offer. And then I also get few other offers as well. But I choose Adobe because it is in my hometown. It is in Noida, so it's location-wise is also like helping me. And so it's a call from referral. It's a referral call. And then once I got a call from a recruiter, and then interview. Then first they called me, and then there is no second call from them from like next 20 days. So I thought it is it's gone. I thought it's gone, but then again they again called me and then said that helped me understood that this is the interview flow is going to be. So there were 5 rounds. First was screening round with a technical person. They asked me about things that what have I done in my whole tenure with Amazon. What are the teams that I've worked on? What are the projects that I've leaded or maybe be a part of? Apart from that, also my technical expertise around Python and SQL. That is, they've asked me a few questions around Python and SQL. So it was a screening round. So that then again the second round was also mostly around SQL and my expertise in SQL, and also how much I'm open to deal with stakeholders and everything. So the good part was I was also previously in my previous roles as well. I was dealing with stakeholders thoroughly in a good capacity, so it wasn't a problem. That round was also went well. Post that, there were 2 roles which are mostly they want to understand. They were non-technical roles, I would say managerial role. They want to understand what exactly I have done in the different teams. They went deep into it, like okay, that was the metrics, and then how did you define it? So everything that I've done in my previous roles that they want to understand. So those 2 roles were that, and then the final role was I would say it's a healthy discussion with the manager that I'm going to work with. So that is the process, the complete process in 5 rounds. So it was a smooth process, and then once the managerial round happened, in 2 days I got the offer.
And what do you feel about the total process? Was it like the advanced or hard level, or it was medium to crack?
So once you have some experience, maybe 3-4 years experience, you have a lot to talk, and also you have some confidence that you have done something. It is really easy. Maybe it might be easy for you. If it is not working, then maybe it is not the role for you, right? So you have that kind of confidence once you have 3-4 years of experience. So I took it like every other interview. So for Python, because I haven't done very extensively on Python, it got me into trouble. I thought in the second round that there could be a chance that I don't get any. I couldn't go forward in the process, maybe because of the Python, but the Python was the one part where I felt little underconfident. Apart from it, it's a medium process. I won't say it's a hard process or not even easy, because if somebody is asking you extensive queries to write extensive queries, fetching data, so I think it's a medium level complete process. I would give it a medium. Yeah.
Cool. I have just one last question to ask Rituraj, and very important to know as well. So for the business analyst role particularly, and at your experience level, which is like 3 to 4 years sort of, how much compensation in general these big tech giants companies are giving them? So if you can give the range sort of thing, that would be helpful for people to negotiate that if they are also planning this kind of switch. So what they can expect from these companies.
Sure. So I'll talk about in 2 terms. One is CTC and one is base salary.
Yep.
People can understand that what exactly they want to look at. So if we talk about base salary on a 3 years of experience, 3 years experience levels, anybody can target somewhere around 25 to 30 ka base. People can target, people can target that much of money, 3+ years of experience in a big tech giant role. Maybe be it Google, be it Microsoft, so they can easily can expect 25 plus base, and a complete CTC they can expect somewhere around 30 to 40, in the range of 30 to 40, depending upon the company or maybe the your current whatever you have in hand. So yeah.
Like
So
30 to 40,
30 to 40 to LPA.
stocks will be included.
Everything, bonuses, joining bonuses, everything.
Yeah, but I guess this is really good. I mean, sometimes I have heard from folks like the data analysts, business analysts are not getting paid that much. But as you mentioned, even for 3-4 years of experience in tech giants, this much of average CTC, right, people are getting. So definitely sounds good. And whoever had this doubt that they aren't getting paid well, I get this is not true anymore.
So
yeah.
the only problem that I want to add one thing here is, if you are relying on only Power BI or maybe some tool or technology in a service-based company, then it might be a problem for you to get get on a good salary. But if you are becoming a holistic, if you have everything what a good business analyst or a data analyst requires, then I think you are good to go, and these are realistic numbers.
Right. Good actual business problem solving.
You need to know, understand business. You need to understand business and the domain you are currently working on. Like, let's suppose I have experience in e-commerce from last 3-4 years. If I go to some e-commerce company, definitely I'll be valued higher, right?
Yep.
So if you understand business, it becomes really easy for you, and also you become real. You can give real value to business, and then only you will be valued.
Alright, so yeah, this is pretty much I had to discuss with you, Rituraj, and I must say this was really insightful because I am having a podcast for the business analyst type of role after a very long time. So I know a lot of people were waiting for it. So your experience of the business analyst role in Amazon, Adobe, and their interview experiences will be really helpful for them. So a very big thanks from my side and from the entire audience that you came here and shared your wonderful experience with us.
Thank you, Shashank, for having me. I really hope that people, if I can help anybody to get in a good shape career-wise, that would be really great for me as well.
So that is what I had for all of you in this amazing podcast. If you find it insightful and meaningful for your journey, then make sure to give it a like in the big numbers and share it with your fellow friends. If you are new to the channel, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the notification as well. And I will see you guys really soon with another amazing podcast or a technical video. So till then, just keep exploring data.